Yeah, I know, bro. I know. The guy's a fraud. And I think the fact that he tried to just shit on me, a guy who's got literally no presence on YouTube or on Twitch, and then he turns out to be the biggest prick on the internet. I think that just goes to show, one, the state of fucking Ashes of Creation and the people that follow it, bunch of frauds, and two, the state of Pirate Software, who's just a straight up fraud himself. The people that follow Ashes are just frauds, because the whole game is a giant fraud.
Live from the heart of the down. Twist this, the king of the battleground. Twist this, drums of war are calling my name. Back once more, yeah, we're changing the game. Twist it, twist this, twist it.
Before we get into the new design direction, let's address the Intrepid layoffs. It's made a lot of buzz lately. People have been making videos, the forums and go figure Reddit have been drowning in doomium. Intrepid fired 9 employees. I think people are making a big deal about this because a game studio actively developing a new game usually increases in its workforce over time. 9 people is about 3.5% of their workforce. I don't think on its own that's a huge deal, but if we see a bunch more layoffs, then it could be. When we zoom out, we know Intrepid's on the hunt for contracting studios, so their overall dev team will be increasing shortly. It's something to keep an eye on, but I don't think it warrants all the attention it's been getting lately.
Boy, talk about a subject that's just massively going around YouTube. This is the hot topic right now. Because anybody who's a fan of the MMO genre, such as I am, this is huge. This is huge news. Because, yeah, I'm a big WoW supporter, but I wanted this game to do well. Because for one thing, Blizzard thrives best when they have active competition. They step up their game a little bit. They try harder. They work harder. They want to make sure they're the dominant product. And when that doesn't happen, they get complacent. They just don't put the work in like they should do. As that's what Midnight is suggesting. There's still bugs even on the damn pre-patch. And all this shit because they're wanting to get this out so quickly. But when there's competition, it's like they up their game. Like anybody's a fan of World of Warcraft, you're shaking your head. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, let's get into this. But before I get into this one video, which I'm just going to skim through because it's 20 minutes long, so I'm not going to play the whole thing. But what I wanted to say was, I was busting the guy's balls earlier because I found the channel funny. The channel's name was the Copium Clinic, right? And he's getting his balls busted bad over that video because he prematurely ejaculated on himself in Minecraft. Let's put that disclaimer there. And he put that video out before all this stuff comes out. That's why I'm always slow on putting videos out, because I try to get all the information I can before I put a statement out myself and my opinion out myself. I always try to get all the information I can get. I watched S-Fan, I watched Asmongoat's take, and a lot of these other streamers, they're putting their 2 cents on all this. And I thought about reacting to them. But there was a couple of these 2 videos here I thought, I don't know, it seemed like it nailed everything better. as far as all the statements and everything that came out. It's like they just showcased it better. So I thought I'd show these two videos here that I want to play. But anyway, get back to this Copium guy. Now, I had this bookmarked. I was going to watch his videos, but because he's getting his balls busted so damn bad. Okay, now see my docket here. You see that? I bookmark everything that I want to play. All right. There's this video. Oh shit! Let me go into a different tab so I don't fuck up my spot there. See this video here. Was Narc actually right about Asher's creation? This is him 7 months ago busting Narc's balls of Narc being right about Asher's creation. But if you click on this video now, he put it on private. All right. So yeah, yeah, he put it on private. Now the video in question that I got that clip from, which was major changes regarding launches for Ashland's creation. This is the video that I just got that clip from. He's getting his balls busted bad on that one, right? What did he do on this one? You want to take a guess? He put it on private. So, that's a channel, I hate, there's a lot of streamers that are like that get endorsed by a company and they always take the high road or they take the positive um, route or something. And sometimes because they put so much faith into the company they're promoting or whatever game they're promoting or whatever, because they get so many perks and things of the other thing, they take their word for it and they get, real into the game and I don't want to say sell themselves out, but they make themselves fall short because they put so much faith into the developers in the game. And that's what happened to this guy. And the rug got pulled out from under him and made himself look like a jackass. so now he's having to pull himself together because of what Ashes of Creation did to this creator because he was such a supporter of him. And now they shit on him. And now he looks like a jackass. Because I can't wait to see this guy's video of him trying to get himself out of this fucking hole he dug himself into. But anyway, let's get back to this video here and watch that because this is interesting. Oh, get my headphones on. I took my headphones off and so I can talk about that.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? I am no one, and this has been a crazy fucking week. I apologize for the swear words. I don't care. I'm just going to riff this because this is highly disappointing. As you guys know,
I want to preface this. This obviously came out right before this announcement came. And what is this? February 1st, right? And here it is January 29th. This letter came out before all this shit went down. So apparently, this right here,
the launch started in December.
So apparently, it was already known of the layoffs at the time of this letter came out. It was already known of the layoffs. Won't you keep that in mind?
For Ashes of Creation, and since then I have been doing things with my family and trying to just get a overall feel for what everything has been, and I've been preparing content that was going to come out.
And just the other day, I believe it was Friday, they did what's called a stress test, which means they want everybody and their mama to log in. They want it to really populate the server and really fucking, that's why they call it a stress test. They want to really cram it in there as much people as they can, doing everything in the game you possibly can to make it crash. They want you to make it crash so they can see how many people it can handle with server, what current server capacity they have. They want you to make it crash. And that's what happened on Friday. They were testing the server on alpha, mind you, on alpha, not even on the beta yet, and they're doing a stress test.
kind of talking about like what the next steps needed to happen for this upcoming MMORPG to get into beta. While I was working on that, I was planning on it coming out this last week, and then we got a message under NDA about a lot of things coming up in the next live stream, and I listened to it, and I'm not going.
That's the reason why I never streamed this game, because I have that alpha, but you're not allowed to stream it. So because you sign an NDA, so I never streamed it.
To lie, guys, it was probably the most exciting live stream that I could have hoped for. With my tempered expectations over the last few, I was very much looking forward to the live stream that was supposed to happen yesterday. And then it got delayed. And that was the first red flag that popped up. And I was like, okay, well, we've had delays before, but let's just quickly go through the letter. We'll just try to cover everything as well as I possibly can in the chronological order. So we went from this great thing to a delay. And it says a director's letter to the citizens of Vera. To our glorious community, Asheville Creation exists because of you. Every tester who logs in reports a bug and challenges us to do better. This world is shaped not just by our developers, but by the people who believe in what Vera can become. We know that some of you are frustrated right now. We feel that. You've been...
Remember, I want to say this again. The notices already went out of all the layoffs of the people, all the employees, all the management. The whole company's shutting down. The whole company is shutting down. Remember this. This was made during that time.
Candid about the issues impacting your experience, and you deserve clarity and honesty in return. The concerns we hear most clearly include the impact of RMT, bots, and cheating on fairness and progression. As you guys know, like, gear is a big part of this game, and because of that, RMT is obviously in demand, and there have been...
Anybody don't know what RMT stands for? Real money trading.
Quite a few RMTers.
Meaning people are buying gear with real money.
PvP and corruption systems that don't yet feel consistent or fully realized. Yes. Issues surrounding caravans, content and system bugs that interrupt gameplay, performance and stability problems that pull you out of the world. These are not small things. They touch the core of what Asheville Creation is meant to be, a living, player-driven MMORPG where your time, effort, and choices matter. We're actively working on these areas, and many of them are deeply interconnected. Solving one often requires structural changes across multiple systems. That work is underway. So far, so good. Game development, especially at this scale, is rarely linear. Systems evolve, assumptions are challenged, foundations must sometimes be reworked, so what comes next can stand strong. That process can be uncomfortable, particularly in an open development environment where you see the seams as they are stitched, but it is also what allows us to build something ambitious, durable, and worthy of your investment. To ensure we can speak clearly and thoroughly about what's next, we're moving our upcoming development update on Twitch to February 13, 2026 at 11 a.m. Pacific.
Now that's something going to be interesting now. So what I'll get to this in a bit when I get to what I want to say about it in a bit. But what I think it would happen, I think a group of investors has put some serious, because it takes a lot of money to make an MMO, a lot of money. And I think what happened, a group of investors put some serious money into this game, and they started pushing Steven Sharif to get this game out, quit fucking around and get this game out. So now it'd be interesting to see who is running Ash's Creation now. But it looks like the company itself is shutting down, but did another company, my point is, did the investors who put money into this game, did they buy him out? And then now it's going to pick up with these investors. So it'd be interesting if this February 13th date still happens.
In that update, we will walk through our Q1 plans and outline the next steps for Ashes of Creation, what we're prioritizing, why those choices matter, and how they connect to the issues you're expecting today.
The reason why I keep saying that, because remember, everybody's losing their job when this thing came out. Everybody's losing their job.
You've joined us on a journey, not a finished road. That doesn't mean you should accept broken systems or unclear direction. It means you are part of a process that requires iteration of a world in the making. We are grateful for your patience and passion. It comes from a place of care. Vera is still growing. We remain deeply committed to making it a world worthy of your time, your stories, and your belief. Thank you for walking this path with us. With respect and gratitude, the Ashes of Creation team. Which is great. It's just a delay. No big deal. Whatever. Like, this just came out January 29th. So 2 days ago was the delay. And so we went from, hey, really exciting live stream. Okay, it's going to be pushed back a little bit. Still exciting live stream. All this stuff is happening. However, when you look at this, it may not seem like much to you guys, but most of the other big letters written by Stephen Sharif have his signature on the bottom. People started pointing this one out. Hey, like this one says the Ashes of Creation team. It doesn't have Stephen Sharif on it. If you go back and you look at Discord from about 4 days ago, Steven said he's been gone for 2 weeks with an illness. If you guys have been watching live streams, you've noticed that Steven's had a cough, like he's gone in for different things to try and take care of some medical history, and it apparently isn't getting better. And this is just speculation on my part. I don't know anything. I want to be clear.
I'm crying bullshit on that. The illness is that, yeah, I'm crying bullshit on that.
This is just what I've been seeing. He said that he's been gone for a couple of weeks dealing with medical stuff. That's what he posted on Discord. So I'm going to take that at his word. So he posted, I've been gone.
I won't. I'll call it bullshit. He's already stepped down already then.
I'm going to get back. I'm going to look into it. And so it's like, okay, cool. So this probably wasn't written by Steven. Then all of a sudden, today, a bunch of things happened. 20 different workers at Intrepid Studios resigned. Sorry, I'm burying the lead here. I'm going in chronological order. I just did a sneak peek for you. They updated their profiles saying looking for work. They're open to new opportunities, etc., etc. And when you looked at these people, it was like the lead combat dev. It was a lot of senior developers, which is hugely concerning. Like a 250 person team in January, they're going to go through turnover, right? Like oftentimes this is around the time a lot of companies like try to trim their books in general, and they try to figure out what they're going to do for the rest of the year. And so layoffs aren't typically a big deal, but it was who they were. It was senior lead developers, as well as.
I know this from experience of dealing with various companies, because the company I work for myself, when you're starting at the top, working your way down, the company's done. If it goes from the top, working your way down, not the other way around, the employee's working his way up, yeah, the company's already done.
Margaret Crone, who's been basically the second face of the company on the live streams for the last 7 years. She also updated her profile. And so this caught the eyes of a lot of people, myself included, because it's like, okay, well, what the hell's going on here? Because this is seismic news. And so a lot of speculation came out was, is Steven selling the company? Did he step down? Did he resign? And because they're selling the company to somebody else, basically they already have the lead.
I think that's what's happened. I think this group of investors that has came in, I think they're taking over and they're pushing everybody out. That's why Stephen, he said, well, he made a statement that they're doing shit that he couldn't control or something online. They were making moves that he couldn't stop. That means there's some kind of changeover happening here.
Senior developers, they already have the communications team, and these people are replaceable. That was the initial speculation that I saw on Discord. It's like, well, yeah, that's absolutely possible. Maybe they're looking to go into a merger, and a lot of these people just didn't like that direction that it was going. And
I can also say mergers, like say when Blizzard merged with Activision. As soon as they merged with Activision, what happened to the game? What happened to World of Warcraft? The game started this demise and hitting the shitter. Because you remember, Vanilla, that was Blizzard's baby. Burning Crusade, that was Blizzard's baby. We seen shit changing in Wrath of the Lich King. We seen some small changes, and we all, started doing the Off the Rock and raising our eyebrow, going, "What the fuck is this?" We started seeing that, and a lot of people, many people joke and call Wrath of the Lich King retail light, because that's when we started seeing the changes. We started seeing things like, well, this ain't Blizzard's vision. This what think blah 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 blah. We were saying it, but the game is so good, we overlooked it. Then all of a sudden, Cataclysm hit. Completely shit on the lore of the whole fucking game. They started redoing the maps. They started redoing everything. So it's like, fuck Classic Plus. Everybody's hopping about Classic Plus and wanting Classic Plus. Blizzard shit on that themselves with Cataclysm. They shit all over it. Even took their cocks out and took a piss on it when they put out Cataclysm. So that's the opinion how I think what Blizzard thinks about Classic Plus. They did that with Cataclysm. Why? Because Activision took over.
Stepping down and they're looking for new stuff. But either way, it was a huge signifier that things are not what they were 2 to 3 days ago. It all just kind of came out. So going off of this letter, it looks like, hey, business is normal. Things got delayed February 13th. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to answer your problems. All this. And people have been asking questions in Discord. Hey, what's going on here? What's going on with this? What's going on with this? And no response. And no response is obviously a bad sign from a team with open development, because it typically means that they might be under.
I disagree with open development, and this is why. Because it's like tickling your asshole with a feather. You see all this shit coming out, and you're wanting to play it, and you want to get into it, and you want to, I would rather the damn game come out, and maybe I get a beta invite, maybe not. A lot of times I'd rather wait to the finished product, and then I check out the game, because then that's the game. There's no going back at that point. There's no, we're still in development. That's why they call it beta. It's always the excuse they have. Sometimes I'd rather wait to the finished product, and then I give my opinion. I don't like open development games.
NDA, or there's stuff that they can't discuss. And so people are pinging and things are getting batshit crazy. Like all the Discords I'm in, people are trying to figure out what's going on. People are trying to figure out like if there's just large turnover at the top, like if there's a merger, whatever, like all the things that we just discussed, right? I leave. I had some errands to run, and I come back to this. And it is a post from Margaret Crone. Well, this chapter has come to a close. My time at Intrepid Studios has officially ended. To the Ashes of Creation community, you are some of the most passionate, dedicated players I've ever seen in this industry. I genuinely...
This is the this woman is the person who you always see on every Ashes Creation development stream, or she was basically the face of the company outside of Stephen Sharif.
Wish I could have done more for you. I gave everything I had and did my very best with what was within my power, and I ask one last favor of you. Please be kind to the developers. We are people who have families who have just lost their jobs after pouring our hearts and souls into Ashes of Creation. To my incredible game services team, you're an absolute AAA team, talented, kind, collaborative, and just genuinely good people. I take each of you with me on any project, any day. I care deeply for all of you, and I know our bond is one I'll carry forever. I'll never forget our time together, and you know where to find me if you need anything. Always. As for how this all ended, I don't really have the words. It wasn't what I expected, but I'm holding on to the good because there's so much of it. With that, I'm officially looking for new opportunities. If you know of any leadership or director level roles in narrative, community, marketing, or social, I'd be great.
That being said, speaking of World of Warcraft, I think she would be good, like a liaison, like kind of, if you remember Lore from World of Warcraft, and that's kind of what he did. If you remember him, I think she'd be great at that.
Grateful for any leads or connections. So huge adjustments. Obviously, like I said, Margaret is one of the biggest faces of the entire company. And so we went from like really exciting live stream to this. Then on top of that, Steven posts something in Discord.
Yeah, this is what I was wanting to talk about. Well, I said, I'll give me a minute. This is it.
People are asking what's going on. And he says, I can make a limited statement in my personal capacity and not on behalf of the company regarding the situation. Control of the company shifted away from me, and the board...
Right there. Control of the company. Control of the company shifted away from me. Meaning, they're investors who outweigh Steven and his input into the game. They have the strokes.
Began directing actions that I could not ethically agree with or.
So what happened was that Steven was pushed into this coming out on Steam. I don't think he even wanted it on Steam. But because of these investors that put so much money into the game, they're on his ass of saying, Steven, quit fucking around and get this game out. That's what he's saying here. I guarantee you, after the stress test, they were already talking to Steven about pushing out a beta release.
Carry out. As a result, I chose to resign in protest rather than lend my name or authority to decisions I could not ethically support. Following my resignation, much of the senior leadership team resigned. Following those departures, the board made the decision to issue a WARN Act notices and proceed with a mass layoff.
Anybody don't know what a WARN Act is when you have a company, I think it's 500 people. If Stallion watches this video, he'll know what I'm talking about. If you have a big company, you have to issue this to let your employees know so they can find work. You have to give them I think it's 2 months notice. Say the company I work for. Let's say the plant I work for, not necessarily the company I work for, but let's say the plant I work for is shutting down. Well, they got to give me at least 2 months notice so I can find a job.
I cannot responsibly speak to further details at this time due to ongoing legal and governance matters. What I can say is that the developers and staff acted in good faith and deserve better than the uncertainty they are now facing. I am incredibly dismayed by the situation. And so, we went from cool live stream, a lot of cool updates, to the game is no longer existing. There, as of apparently, due to the WARN Act, as of February 2nd,
I'm not sure if the game's no longer existing. I think what's going to happen, which what might take, maybe this February 13th date might change into my theory. I think some other company has bought Steven out, and something happens. There's been some kind of a hostile takeover of Intrepid Studios. So I think somebody else will pick up. And this game will maybe it's me on Copium. I'm the new Copium doctor maybe here. I don't know, but seems like to me somebody's gonna pick up Intrepid Studios dropped the ball, and somebody else is gonna pick it up and just change the name. It won't be called Ashes Creation anymore. It'll be called something else.
which is Monday, the servers will be down. They will be closed. Ashes of Creation no longer exists. With my speculation built in here, I don't know what happened. I don't know anything. This is pure speculation. But Steven has claimed, like I said, that he had health issues. And I'm assuming due to those health issues, him being unable to act in the capacity that he was acting in, the board kind of took over. And they immediately did a bunch of things that basically went against everything that Steven wanted to do, and he couldn't do it. And the people he brought in to make the game the way he wanted to make it, they also couldn't do it. And then the board of developers saw this, and they're like, hey, if we don't have senior development leads, and we don't have the creative director, and we don't have all this, we don't have a game, so we might as well lay everybody off. And so, yeah, that just happened. That just happened as of...
That's what I think would happen. I think if he did step down, I think there were no health issues. I think he already stepped down. When he stepped down, these people took over.
Of an hour and a half ago, as of me reading this. And so there is more. There's obviously going to be more that comes from this. But there are going...
I think it's going to come out that somebody bought the company out. Somebody bought Intrepid Studios. That's what's happening here. Somebody bought them out.
To be a lot of people that talk about this and what happened. A lot of people are going to immediately come out and say this game was a scam. It was obviously a scam. They were trying to get money. And for the last time, you stupid fucking idiots. I'm sorry. I've been nice. I've been polite. I've been civil. There's just no mathematical concept that shows that this game was a scam. It failed. Absolutely. It absolutely As of right now, it absolutely failed. It absolutely is an unfinished project, and it will go.
That's been a long-standing meme of this game. Would be constantly in development, like never finished. Just be like, here it was like 15 years later, this damn game's still in development. That's always was the thing. But I think that's where these investors came into play. I think they started pushing it, saying, "No, we want this game out. Quit fucking around." And I think that's what happened.
In a long line of Kickstarter MMORPGs that did not succeed. But a scam it is not. You don't bring on 250 developers and bring in maybe 100,000 people for a Steam release, make maybe $2 million and think you're going to yield a profit when your overall salaries per year are around $25 million. The math isn't mathing, guys. I don't care what you say. The math just doesn't math. So yes, it is a failed project as it stands right now. It is very unfortunate. I'm disappointed, obviously. This is one of the few MMORPGs that I've been looking forward to.
Yeah, somebody, Asmongo on his stream yesterday, he was doing a list of failed MMOs that's come out, and it was going to be like this big WoW killer, World of Warcraft killer, Rift, and all these other games that came out over the years. There's going to be the big Riot. No, not Riot. Riot ain't out yet. There was some. Anyway, there was all these other games that was going to be the big killer, and they ended up bottoming out. New World, New World, for example, it fucking failed. And they never panned out. And it just another example I got is because I was because this is what I was playing before World of Warcraft. I was playing The Sims Online. If you remember that game from Maxis, it was a offshoot of the Sims game, the original very first Sims game that came out. Well, they had an online version of that, and it was real cool and it was really fun to play. And that took a shit again. Same thing. Maxis sold out the EA games. When the EA games came out, they took over. They started fucking with it, and the game fundamentally failed. When EA games took it over, same thing, because that happened. That's a good example of the Sims. It's a good example of the Sims Online and what happened to it.
As a lot of you guys know, that it is one of the few things where we have 5%, 10% of the overall project on the servers right now, and the replayability when some of the things have been live have been really fun. I've been really looking forward to getting more of it. I was looking forward to having total archetypes. I was looking forward to new zones, new POIs, all the.
I'm glad I didn't invest my time. I was like, I'll stop it here, but it's a good point to stop. I'm glad I didn't invest my time into this game. Because imagine you put your focus into this game all this fucking time, and then only to have the rug pulled out from under you. Especially if you're a YouTube creator, like I was busting this guy balls earlier. And I hope you don't try to copyright flag me because you private that video. I'm actually doing you a favor because Ash's creation made you look like a jackass. All right? They made you look like a dumbass because you was fully backing them up, and they shit on you like that. Or any other creator that was backing up Ash's creation. So don't play that bullshit. All right. I'm actually helping you get out of this hole that you dug yourself into. Ash's creation took a huge shit on you, pal. But that's all I've got. Everybody, their mama is talking about this because this is huge news. If you're a gamer, if you're MMO, because everybody wanted this game to do well. Because like I was saying earlier, Blizzard are at their best when they have competition. It's like they step up their game a little bit. Then it's like, oh shit, this game's better than us. Well, we got to make midnight fucking fuck them right in the ass and be one hell of an MMO. We can't let them be better than us. They stepped up their game. So everybody was hoping that Ashes Creation would do well. And, this happened. So it's unfortunate. I feel for all the people who lost their jobs. It sucks. Hope they can find work and hope something comes good out of this. Let's hope. Like maybe somebody will, like I was talking about, or maybe somebody bought this game and somebody will pick it up and change the name of it. All the features will still be there, but they'll change the name of it and call it something else, and it'll still come out. So maybe, who knows? That's all I've got. Y'all take care, and I'll see you in the next video.
Never lose faith in the mighty Sharif, because you're high on copium.